The British royal family has weathered countless storms over the decades, but few subjects remain as emotionally charged as the memory of Princess Diana. Nearly 3 decades after her tragic passing, her influence continues to shape the monarchy in ways both visible and unseen. And now, according to growing reports and royal insiders, Prince William appears to be drawing a firm line in the sand, one that has reportedly left Queen Camilla increasingly sidelined from some of the most sensitive discussions surrounding Diana's legacy. The developments have sparked intense debate among royal watchers, many wondering whether a long-simmering tension has finally reached a turning point. What exactly happened behind palace walls? And why are insiders suggesting that William is taking unprecedented steps to protect his mother's memory? The answers may reveal one of the most significant power shifts inside the modern monarchy. For years, Prince William has carefully balanced two responsibilities that often seemed impossible to reconcile. On one hand, he has worked tirelessly to support the institution of the crown and maintain stability within the royal family. On the other, he has remained fiercely protective of the legacy left behind by his mother, Princess Diana. Those close to William have long described Diana's memory as deeply personal to him, not simply as a matter of public history, but as a responsibility he carries every day. As William has grown into his role as heir to the throne, that sense of responsibility has only intensified. Royal observers have noted that many of William's charitable initiatives reflect causes Diana championed during her lifetime. Whether addressing homelessness, mental health, or humanitarian concerns, William often echoes the compassionate approach that made Diana beloved around the world. But according to palace insiders, recent discussions surrounding future royal projects have reportedly brought old sensitivities back to the surface. Sources claim that several proposals connected to royal heritage, public exhibitions, family commemorations prompted renewed conversations about how Diana's legacy should be presented to future generations. And it was during those conversations, insiders suggest that William's position became unmistakably clear. One royal commentator described the situation as a defining moment. William believes certain aspects of Diana's legacy belong to her children, a source reportedly explained. He feels a deep obligation to ensure her story is preserved with authenticity and respect. While no official statements have confirmed any internal disagreements, speculation intensified after several high-profile royal events appeared to place Diana's legacy front and center, while Camilla maintained a noticeably lower profile than expected. Observers quickly began connecting the dots. Could this simply have been a scheduling coincidence? Or was something more significant unfolding behind the scenes? The relationship between Diana and Camilla remains one of the most talked about chapters in royal history. Although decades have passed, public fascination with that story has never entirely faded. When King Charles eventually married Camilla, both the palace and senior royals faced the enormous challenge of moving forward while respecting lingering public emotions surrounding Diana's memory. Over time, Camilla gradually earned greater acceptance among many members of the public. Her dedication to charitable causes and her steady support of Charles helped improve perceptions that had once been overwhelmingly negative. Yet some wounds, royal experts argue, never completely disappear. And for William, Diana is not merely a historical figure. She is his mother. That distinction may explain why insiders claim he has become increasingly involved in decisions connected to how her memory is represented. Several commentators suggest that William sees himself as the primary guardian of Diana's legacy, particularly as younger generations become more interested in learning about the princess, who transformed the monarchy's public image. One source reportedly claimed that William has taken a particularly active role in reviewing projects related to Diana's life, ensuring they align with what he believes she would have wanted. If true, such involvement would represent a remarkable assertion of influence by the future king. And it may also help explain why some observers believe Camilla's role in these discussions has diminished considerably. Royal insiders emphasize that no dramatic confrontation has occurred. Instead, they describe a quieter process, one in which William has steadily established boundaries regarding matters connected to Diana. Those boundaries, according to reports, have become increasingly difficult to ignore. The timing is especially significant because William's influence within the monarchy continues to grow. As King Charles faces ongoing pressures associated with leading the institution, more responsibilities have naturally shifted toward the Prince of Wales. With that increased authority comes greater ability to shape the monarchy's future direction. And many insiders believe William is already doing exactly that. One veteran royal analyst noted that future monarchs often begin leaving their mark long before they actually ascend the throne. The transition doesn't happen overnight, the commentator explained. Influence builds gradually, and William is reaching a stage where his views carry enormous weight. If that assessment is correct, recent developments surrounding Diana's legacy may represent more than a personal matter. They could signal the emergence of William's broader vision for the monarchy itself, a vision that places authenticity, emotional connection, and public trust at its center, and in that vision, Diana occupies a uniquely important place. Supporters argue that William's determination is understandable. Diana remains one of the most admired members of the royal family in modern history. Her ability to connect with ordinary people transformed expectations of what a royal could be. Protecting that legacy, they say, is not only a family responsibility, but also a matter of preserving an important chapter in Britain's cultural history. Critics, however, caution against framing the situation as a contest between Diana and Camilla. They point out that the monarchy functions best when it emphasizes unity rather than division. Still, speculation continues to grow, particularly after several recent royal appearances led observers to question whether a subtle shift in palace dynamics is underway. One event, in particular, reportedly caught the attention of royal watchers. According to observers present, discussions surrounding future commemorative plans appeared to involve key figures closely associated with William's office. Noticeably absent, some noted, were individuals traditionally linked to Camilla's sphere of influence. The observation may prove entirely innocent. Within royal circles, even small details can fuel major speculation, and speculation has become impossible to ignore. Insiders now suggest that William's efforts extend beyond individual projects. Some claim he is quietly establishing long-term principles that will govern how Diana's story is told for decades to come. If true, implications could be enormous, not just for Camilla, not just for the palace, but for the future image of the monarchy itself. As these reports continue to circulate, one question is emerging above all others. Has Prince William reached the point where he is no longer simply protecting Diana's memory, but actively reshaping the royal family's future around? And if so, what happens next could alter palace relationships in ways few anticipated. As questions continue to swirl around the future direction of the monarchy, insiders suggest that Prince William's approach is becoming increasingly clear. Rather than engaging in public disputes or dramatic confrontations, appears to be relying on something far more effective: quiet influence. Those who have followed William's rise within the royal family often point to a defining characteristic: patience. Unlike many public figures, William rarely responds to speculation directly. Instead, observers say he prefers to shape outcomes through careful planning and long-term strategy. And according to royal commentators, that strategy is now becoming visible in the way Diana's legacy is being preserved. Sources claim that William views his mother's story as inseparable from the future identity of the monarchy. In his eyes, Diana's compassion, accessibility, and ability to connect with ordinary people represent qualities the royal family cannot afford to lose. That belief reportedly explains why he has become increasingly protective whenever discussions involve Diana's public image. One royal analyst described the situation this way: William isn't trying to rewrite history, trying to ensure that Diana's place in history remains secure. For him, this is deeply personal, but it's also about the institution's future. That assessment is accurate, then recent reports about Camilla's reduced involvement in certain discussions may reflect a broader transition already underway, not a personal rejection, not a public rebuke, but a shift in priorities. As future king, William is expected to shape the monarchy according to his own values and vision. Many observers believe that process has already begun. And while King Charles remains firmly on the throne, the influence of the Prince of Wales continues to expand. That reality has fueled growing speculation that William is gradually assembling the framework for the monarchy he hopes to lead one day. A monarchy that honors tradition while embracing public expectations. A monarchy that places service before status. And a monarchy that continues to acknowledge the extraordinary impact Princess Diana had on millions of people around the world. For supporters of William, this approach feels both natural and inevitable. After all, no one knew Diana as her sons did. No one understands the personal cost of her loss more deeply, and no one carries a stronger emotional connection to her legacy than William himself. That connection appears to resonate strongly with the public. Whenever Diana's memory is invoked, public interest remains remarkably intense. New generations continue to discover her story, while longtime admirers remain devoted to the image of the princess who changed perceptions of royalty forever. In that sense, William's determination may reflect something larger than family loyalty. It may reflect an understanding of what Diana still means to the monarchy's relationship with the public. Meanwhile, Camilla's position remains a subject of intense discussion among royal observers. Over the years, she has worked steadily to establish her own identity within the institution. Many acknowledge her commitment to public service and her support of King Charles throughout challenging periods. Yet despite those efforts, Comparisons with Diana have never completely disappeared, and perhaps they never will. Because Diana occupies a unique place in royal history that cannot easily be replicated, replaced, or redefined. That reality may be at the heart of what insiders describe as William's hard line. According to commentators, is not interested in revisiting old conflicts or reopening historical wounds. Instead, Piers focused on maintaining clear distinctions between different chapters of the royal family's story. For William, Diana's chapter belongs to Diana, and preserving that chapter exactly as it was may be one of the responsibilities he takes most seriously. Whether reports of Camilla being sidelined are entirely accurate remains impossible to verify from outside palace walls. Royal households are famously private, and much of what emerges publicly comes through interpretation and anonymous sourcing.